Whenever the laws of any state are broken, a duly authorized organization swings into action. It may be called the state police, state troopers, militia, the rangers, or the highway patrol. These are the stories of the men whose training, skill, and courage have enforced and preserved our state laws. Crimes of violence add a serious note to the routine functions of the highway patrol. The patrol moves quickly to aid victims, to apprehend the killer. But in many cases, the victims are beyond aid and the killer is beyond apprehension. In too many cases, the killer is an average respectable citizen, and his murder weapon is triggered by a steering wheel. The highway patrol wages a ceaseless campaign to prevent this kind of crime.
Where'd this one happen, Johnson?
On the state highway, about 5 miles south of the county line.
That's number 8.
That's right.
8 major accidents in 2 weeks on a brand new stretch of highway. Come on over here and take a look at this with me. Right here from the end of the divided highway all the way across to the cutoff at Overland City. 2 weeks, we've had 4 fatals, 7 injuries, and 14 or 15 fender benders. If this keeps up, we're going to run out of people before we run out of fins. You know the area pretty well, Johnson. Got any ideas?
Well, there's city traffic at both ends. As soon as the drivers hit this divided highway, they really bear down, try to make up for lost time.
Anything else?
The road's still fairly new, you know. Even the habit drivers aren't really familiar with it. Sort of takes them by surprise.
All right, we'll make them familiar with it. As of now, we'll pinpoint that 28 miles for selective enforcement. 6 solid weeks of it. We'll assign more men to patrol this territory. Set up routine traffic checks on a rotating basis, covering a different section every day. Examine every operator's license. Check the conditions of every car. Brakes, the lights, the tires, windshield wipers, and the works. Give citations if the cars or the drivers don't meet basic safety requirements. But most important, I want the motorists to know of the stepped-up enforcements. I want them to know that 9 out of 10 accidents are caused by violation of the law, and that increased enforcement cuts down on accidents. Notify the papers, radio, and TV newscasters. Tell them we're concentrating on this area.
Letter for you, Harry.
Okay, be right there.
Oh, bring my glasses in with you, will you? You can do better than that. Fine thing. All I ask is a little affection, and what do I get? Eyeglasses. Oh, your letter. Something wrong?
Looks like they're catching up with me at last. Notice informal hearing. The records of this department show that you have been convicted on 4 occasions of violating the traffic laws.
4 occasions? The letter you got said 3.
I got another ticket last Friday.
Oh, honey.
Under the provision of the vehicle code, you are hereby notified that this department proposes to suspend or revoke your driving privileges and any operators or chauffeurs' licenses which have been issued to you.
Harry, that's awful.
Are to impose reasonable terms and conditions of probation, blah, 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 etc.
Don't be so casual about it. Suppose they take your license away. Suppose they give you a 30-day suspension.
Then we'll stop eating for 30 days.
Honey, you're a top man in the sales department. You're a cinch to win that bonus. Now, if anything happens...
Look, Mrs. Brent, let's not worry ourselves until we have to. They're reasonable people down there. I'll simply explain that I'm a salesman and I got a lot of territory to cover, and my car is essential to my work, that's all.
All right, Mr. Salesman. But something tells me you've got a lot of selling to do at that hearing.
Traffic checks and stepped-up enforcement threw a heavy burden upon the regional traffic court. Along with the great reduction of accidents in the territory, the concentrated effort added an additional factor for the attention of the head of the Highway Patrol. That of drivers whose record of traffic violations clearly indicated that they were a potential menace to the motoring public at large. The Department of Motor Vehicles made facilities available for the Highway Patrol to discuss the danger potential with those drivers and impress upon them as forcefully as necessary the need for safe driving habits.
Here, Leo Adamson.
Yes, sir.
Sit down. Go on, Adams, take it.
No, sir, I'd rather not.
It's not loaded. Take it.
No, sir. Guns make me nervous.
Why?
Well, I don't know. They just do, that's all.
Well, that makes sense. Now, I'm violating every rule in the book by handing you a gun. I'd chew out any rookie who tried it, but I got a point to make. Now, it's not loaded. Take it. It's harmless without bullets. 2 pounds of harmless metal.
I know, sir, but guns give me the willies.
What about your car?
My car?
Your car outweighs this gun by 4,000 pounds, and it's loaded the minute you turn the key in the ignition. Doesn't that give you the willies? Come on, doesn't it?
Well, when you put it that way, Mr. Matthews, I guess it does. Yes, sir, it sure does.
All right, Adams. Remember that when your foot gets heavy on the accelerator. Figured as a trigger on a gun, a 4,000-pound gun.
Yes, sir, I will.
Fine, Adams, thanks.
Is that all?
That's all. Good luck.
Thank you, sir. Bye. Just a little faster. A tiny bit faster, and this gun would have blown up in my face.
Next. Sit right over there.
How'd you make out at the hearing, Mr. Brent?
Pretty well. They put me on probation for the rest of the year.
You don't seem very worried about it.
I got enough to worry about, all right. I get one more ticket, they'll take my license away from me. So old horsepower Harry is going to have to slow down a bit.
Oh, good. Well, maybe we can help each other. You drive that new highway to Overland City a lot, don't you?
Yeah, I got my last 2 tickets there.
Yeah, I know. It's right on the record here. Now, the accident rate is very high on that new stretch of road. Highway Patrol is investigating causes and cures. You got any ideas?
Well, you know how it is with a good highway. The average driver is bound to speed up a bit. See, this gun isn't loaded, is it?
No, go on. Go on, take a look at it.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I haven't seen one of these since my Army days.
You say the average driver's bound to speed up a little bit on a good highway. You had 4 violations in 10 months. You call that average driving, Mr. Brent?
No, but at least I haven't had an accident.
You handle a car the way you handle that gun, you'll have one quick.
I'm sorry, Mr. Matthews. I wasn't aiming it at anything. You said it wasn't loaded.
I could have been wrong, but you didn't even take the trouble to find out. You're a guy who takes everything for granted. You make my job a tough one.
No, honest, Mr. Matthews. I'm on your
No,
side.
you're not. You didn't bother to find out if the gun was loaded. You never had an accident, so it's all right to play with guns or drive 15, 20 miles an hour over the speed limit.
No, really,
I got news for you. You carry a loaded gun every time you get behind the wheel of your car. You're a potential killer, but you won't believe it. Well, one of these days you're going to find out, and I'm afraid you're going to find out the hard way.
Harry Brent was back on the highways. His next stop was Overland City, a very important sales meeting.
Say, officer, you're not really going to give me a ticket for that, are you?
Yes, sir, I am. Your driver's license, please?
Look, officer, I've been following that truck for miles. 25 miles an hour. I have to be in Overland City by 3:30.
Sorry, sir. You crossed over the double line when you passed that truck. You're going over a bridge and around a curve. If an oncoming car had been in out of the lane.
But there was no oncoming car.
You couldn't have known that, sir.
Trucks like that shouldn't be allowed on a two-lane highway.
You drive this road often, Mr. Brent?
Yes, I use it all the time.
And you should know, sir, that this road becomes a 4-lane highway just around the next curve. Pushing your luck, Mr. Brent. This time it's a citation. Maybe a funeral.
Any period of selective enforcement is bound to bring results. But no amount of traffic checks or concentrated patrolling can cure the driver who refuses to recognize his own faults. Harry Brent was one such driver, and as a result, had paid his second visit to the Department of Motor Vehicles.
Well, how was it? What happened?
Suspension, 60 days.
No.
All right, baby. Take over. Next 60 days, you're my chauffeur.
You won't cover as much ground with me driving. You might lose your lead as top salesman. That'd mean no bonus or anything.
Shush. I got me into this, and I got no influence at City Hall, so... Hey, wait a minute. Maybe I have.
What?
Well, it's worth a try anyway. Come on, move over.
Where are we going?
To see your husband's influential friends. Come on.
All right.
I'm afraid you misunderstood me, Mr. Brent. When I said I hoped we could help each other, I was referring to the accidents on this highway.
They've taken my license away from me, Mr. Matthews, for 60 days. That's like taking money out of my pocket, food out of my family's mouth.
Couldn't you possibly drive your husband on his business trips, Mrs. Brent?
Yes, I could. Of course, Harry doesn't think I'm the greatest driver in the world. He calls me Cautious Clara.
Don't let him bully you into his way of thinking. A good driver isn't necessarily a fast driver.
Listen, Mr. Matthews, I know you got sore at me the last time, but, well, I've realized a lot of things. Things would be different, I promise, if you could just get my license back.
The Highway Patrol can't tell the Motor Vehicle Department how to run its business.
But you must have some influence down there.
No. All this department can do is submit information and make recommendations.
Well, couldn't you recommend some kind of action for me?
I already have. I recommend that they suspend your license.
Can't you speed up a bit, honey?
Nope.
Well, the speed limit's 55.
My limit's 45. Look, Mr. B, it's only been 10 days. You going to give me the business already?
Oh, sorry, Clara. I was just hoping we could get to Silverwood today. Now I'll have to make it tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Tomorrow's Saturday.
I know.
I was sort of planning on getting my hair done tomorrow.
Well, it's okay. George O'Connor's going to be off tomorrow. He said he could drive me down.
Oh, good. My hair's been a mess.
Now what?
Looks like another one of those road checks.
Oh, great. How am I ever going to make a living at this rate?
Hi, Jeff.
Good morning.
How much you check through today?
We clock about 600 since 9 a.m.
Many citations?
Well, not too many, considering. Here, take a look.
Gets less every day. Accident rate's down about 80%.
That's better than you expected, isn't it?
Yeah. Let's hope the rest of the cars don't mess up our figures.
Hello. Ah, George, where you been, boy? I've been ready for 15 minutes. What? What? Yeah, I see. No, I'll figure something out. Okay. Bye. Hi.
Hi.
He can't make it. Mildred's sick. What are those attacks she's always getting?
What are you going to do?
Call somebody else, I guess.
Can't you go down to Silverwood on Monday?
No, I postponed this thing too many times already.
Okay. Don't get so upset.
Well, even if I wanted to postpone it, I couldn't. It's too late to cancel the appointment now. If only I could... What are you doing?
Calling the hairdresser.
Oh, don't be silly. You have a right to have at least one day to yourself.
Look, Mr. Brent, I happen to have great plans for that bonus you're going to win.
But you haven't even had your breakfast yet.
So we'll stop on the road.
You're wonderful.
Post a morning traffic check right here, Johnson.
Okay, usual time periods?
No, weekend traffic starts a little later. Let's make it 9 to 12 noon.
Okay, what about the others?
In the afternoon, post one over here. Make that 4 to 7. Now, we can catch the late traffic coming to the city from here. Make this one 10 p.m. to midnight. You got it?
Right. How long we keep the highway under selective enforcement?
Well, we'll see what the weekend brings. Maybe our problem driver will surprise you. I'll ride patrol with you. Come on.
Really, dear, if you think you're going to be late for the appointment, I can get something to eat in Silverwood.
No, there's a little place up the road here on the left. I don't want this outfit to think I'm too anxious to make the sale anyway. Bad psychology.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good for a fast breakfast.
Well, we have sweet rolls, hot cakes, waffles, and... Oh, dear.
What is it? What happened?
Your glasses. They're broken.
Oh, Harry, what'll we do?
Well, we just have to get you another pair, that's all.
Look, I'm sure the management will pay you for them. It was all my fault, really, and I know they'll make it right for you.
I can't drive without them. I can't see 10 feet away without my glasses.
Well, listen, isn't there someplace around here we can get these fixed?
No, sir, Silverwood's the closest, and that's 18 miles.
That's great. Just great. What are we going to do, Clara? We can't just stay here.
Is there a taxi service around here?
Just in Silverwood. They don't like to come out this far.
Well, how about a bus? There must be a bus along this highway.
Oh, yes, sir. The next bus comes by at 11:20.
Oh, that's fine. My appointment's 10 o'clock.
Harry, why don't you call them? I'm sure they'd understand if you'd explain what happened.
Sure. Explain. That's all I've been doing with my clients. Explaining why I'm late, explaining why I can't make it today. May I please make it tomorrow? Oh, come on, let's get out of here.
Don't be silly, Harry. You know I can't drive without my glasses.
You don't have to. I'll drive.
Harry! Harry, wait a minute! Please, honey, you can't drive without a license. Suppose you get stopped.
Look, it's only 18 miles to Silverwood. We'll be there in a half hour. Chances are we won't even see a cop in that time. It's all very simple. While I'm with my customer, you can have your new glasses made up. If we have to, we'll stay overnight. Then you can drive home with your new glasses, okay?
Harry, wait a minute. Wait one more minute, please. Could I have the highway patrol, please?
Where you been? You said you'd only be a minute.
I called the highway patrol.
You what?
I called the highway patrol and I told them what happened. And the officer said that they'd call us back as soon as they could contact one of their cars in this neighborhood.
For crying out loud, how simple can you get? Sure, they'll call us back here, and they'll send a car for us. And they'll take us to headquarters, and we'll fill out 1 million forms, and they'll give us a lecture. By that time, it'll be 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. And I'm not waiting.
Harry, please, they'll be calling back any minute.
Look, Clara, I'm going to be in Silverwood before they call back and before they find out who called.
Harry, please.
Are you going with me or aren't you?
got a call from communications.
What's the matter, trouble?
Not exactly. Some woman just phoned in, said she and her husband are in a hurry to get to Silverwood. He has no driver's license. She just broke her glasses. Can't drive without them.
Where are they?
The Tip Top Cafe, that's about 4 miles from here.
Well, if they can be that conscientious, so can we. Call communications. Tell them to call the cafe and have the people wait, huh? Anybody call the highway patrol from here?
Well, yes, sir. Aren't they outside? There was a man and a lady. She broke her glass. I broke them.
I'm from the highway patrol. Do you know where they went?
No, sir. The highway patrol just phoned here.
These people, they leave a message, their names, anything?
She said she couldn't drive without her glasses, and he couldn't drive without a license, so...
So they're driving now. Oh, that's just fine. They've gone. I hope they found themselves a driver.
Harry, you're going too fast.
Well, if they ever do catch up with me, I'll end up in jail. You really fixed me with that phone call.
Harry, you should have waited.
It's too late now. All I can do is try to get to Silverwood before they catch up with me.
Riverton to 3114.
3114, why?
3114. 1179 at Kirkwood Highway and Fuller Avenue. Station wagon. Ambulance on scene.
3114, 10-4.
Slow down. It's just up ahead.
Mr. Matthews. How's my wife?
It was her side of the car you bashed in, you know.
She's not going to...
No, she won't die. But she's not going to walk for a long time.
But it wasn't my fault.
Sure it was. If you had control of the car, it wouldn't have happened. I wish I could feel sorry for you, Britt. I really wish I could feel sorry for you.
Poor guy. He's still got the traffic court to face.
Yeah. But he's already had his punishment. He's got a lifetime sentence of living with himself. Next week's case, handled by the Highway Patrol, is a very exciting one. We hope you'll be with us. Until then, remember, the careless driver isn't driving his car. He's aiming it. This is Broderick Crawford saying see you next week.